ሰላም እንደምን አላችሁ? ዛሬ እንደተለመደው በሌላ ቪዲዮ መጥተናል። የዛሬው ቪዲዮአችን የጂኦግራፊ 6 ኤግዛም ላይ የተወጣጡ ዛሬ እንደተለመደው በሪሚዲያል ጂኦግራፊ ቻፕተር 6 ላይ ከዚህ በፊት በሪሚዲያል ኤግዛም ላይ ተጠየቁ ወደፊት ይጠየቃሉ ብለን ያስብናቸው ጥያቄዎችን ለእናንተ ይዘን መጥተናል። ለቻናሉ አዲስ ከሆናችሁ ሰብስክራይብ በማድረግ ማንኛውም ያላችሁን አስተያየት ኮሜንት ሴክሽን ላይ ጻፍ አድርጉልን። ይህ ቪዲዮ ከተመቻችሁ በላይክ አንበሽብሹን። ቀጥታ ወደ ቪዲዮ። አንደኛ In modern geography, the term development is best understood conceptually as a purely quantitative measurement of a country's absolute territorial expansion. B. A multi-dimensional process involving major changes in social structure, population, attitude, and national institutions, as well as the acceleration of economic growth and the reduction of inequality. C. The complete replacement of rural agriculture by urban heavy industrial factors. D. The absolute growth of a nation's military standing and defense budget. D is the absolute growth of a nation's military stand and defense budget. The answer is B is the best answer. B is the best answer. ሁለተኛ, what is the fundamental conceptual difference between economic growth and economic development? A. Growth is qualitative and long term, while development is quantitative and short term. B. Growth refers strictly to an increase in country real output or physical volume of population over time, whereas development implies progressive quality structure change in the entire socio-economic system. C. Growth is only measured in developing nations, while development occurs only in wealthy nations. D. There is no difference. Both terms are perfectly identical in special senses. The answer is B. Growth is refers to strictly an increase in development implies progressive quality is the best answer. B. ሶስተኛ, the total market value of all final goods and services produced within a country's territorial budget during a given year, regardless of the nationality of the producers, is A. Gross national product. B. Net national income. C. Gross domestic product. D. Purchasing power parity. The answer is C. Gross domestic product is the best answer. አራተኛ, gross national product different from gross domestic product because gross national product specifically account for a goods product only by state-owned government monopolies. B. The total value of final goods and service produced by the cities and corporations of nations, including income earned from investment border. C. Only the item traded in rural international market. D. The place rate of natural mineral resource. The answer is B is the best answer. The total value of final goods and services the best answer. አምስተኛ, why is per capita income often considered an imperfect or misleading indicator of individual well-being when used alone? A. It's completely impossible to calculate mathematically. B. It's simple statistical average that completely hidden the actual gap in unequal distribution of a wealth among the population. C. It only measures the income of agricultural laborers. D. It changes every day according to international weather pattern. The answer is B is the best answer. ስድስተኛ, the Human Development Index is a composite index introduced by the United Nations to measure global development. What are the three basic dimensions included in the Human Development Index? A. Military strength, industrial capacity, and urban spatial layout. B. A long and healthy life, access to knowledge, education, and decent standard of living. C. Total birth rate, absolute migration volume, and linguistic diversity. D. Arable land area, forest density, and mineral reservoir. The answer is B is the best answer. Human Development Index measure የሚደረጉት በእነዚህ ናቸው። ሄልዝ ላይፍ፣ አክሰስ ኖሌጅ፣ ኢንካም የሚለውን ነው ሜዥር የሚያደርጋት። ሰባተኛ, human economic activities are traditionally classified into distinct sectors. Which sector is directly engaged in the collection, extraction, and utilization of natural resources directly from the earth? A. Secondary sector. B. Tertiary sector. C. Primary sector. D. Quaternary sector. The answer is C. Primary sector is the best answer. ስምንተኛ, which of the following set of occupations completely represent activities belonging entirely to the primary economic sector? A. Automobile manufacturing, textile weaving and oil refining. B. Banking, high school teaching and legal defense counseling. C. Agriculture, pastoralism, fishing, forestry and mining. D. Software engineering, financial audit and aerospace research. The answer is C is the best answer. The secondary economic sector is primarily characterized by A. The direct harvesting of wild forest product. B. The processing and transformation of raw material derived from the primary sector into finished higher value consumer good manufacturing and construction. C. The provision of commercial transport and retail sales. D. High level executive decision making in multinational firms. The answer is B. The process and transformation of raw material is the best answer. አስረኛ Why are primary economic activities typically dominate in the national economies of developing countries like Ethiopia and the region? A. Because primary activities generate the highest profit margin in global trade. B. Due to heavy reliance on traditional substances, agriculture, low level of industrial mechanization, and the majority of the workforce residing in rural area. C. Because manufacturing is legally banned in global south. D. Due to an absolute lack of any urban settlement. The answer is B is the best answer. 11ኛ Which economic sector does not produce physical tangible goods but instead provide vital service to consumers and business? A. Primary sector. B. Secondary sector. C. Tertiary sector. D. Extractive sector. The answer is C. Tertiary sector is the best answer. 12ኛ Wholesaling, retailing, banking, insurance, tourism, and passenger transports are all classic examples of A. Primary economic activity. B. Secondary economic activity. C. Tertiary economic activity. D. Quaternary economic activity. The answer is tertiary economic activity. All are የተጠቀሱት ምንድነው ሲገለሉት all are service. 13ኛ The quaternary economic service is a specialized sub-branch of the service industry that focused especially on A. Low-wage manual labor in construction field. B. Heavy metal smelting and chemical processing. C. Information technologies, advanced scientific research, data analysis and knowledge management. D. Small-scale nomadic livestock herding. The answer is C. Information technology is the best answer. 14ኛ What types of agriculture is characterized by small land holding, production intended primarily for the family own survival, use of traditional hand tools, and low capital investment? A. Commercial plantation agriculture. B. Subsistence agriculture. C. Intensive market grading. D. Large scale state farming. The answer is B. Subsistence agriculture is the best answer. 15 For most subsistence agriculture, where pastoral communities continuously move with their herd from one locality to another in search of water and pasture, is called A. Shifting cultivation. B. Nomadic pastoralism. C. Sedentary crop cultivation. D. Commercial dairy farming. The answer is B. Nomadic pastoralism is the best answer. 16ኛ In the high altitude wet highland of Ethiopia, the dominant traditional farming system that combine the growth of grains like teff and wheat with the rearing of domestic livestock is called A. Shifting cultivation system. B. Complex horticulture system. C. Mixed highland grain plough farming system. D. Plantation monoculture system. The answer is C is the best answer because ሚክስ እያደረገው ነው ብዙ ሃይላንድ ኢትዮጵያ ላይ የሚሰሩት። 17ኛ What major ecological and structural problem directly challenge traditional subsistence crop production in the northern Ethiopian highland? A. Severe urban labor shortage. B. Massive over-industrialization of rural valley. C. Land fragmentation. Severe soil erosion and recurrent climatic drought. D. A lack of international shipping container port in the mountain. The answer is C. Land fragmentation, severe soil erosion is the best answer. 18 Agriculture that is fully to produce crop or livestock explicitly for sale in domestic or international market using advanced machinery. High capital and wage labor is known as A. Traditional farming, B. Subsistence horticulture, C. commercial agriculture, D. curvy farming. The answer is C. commercial agriculture is the best answer. 19. Which industrial sector involve the manufacturing of heavy items like machinery, steel, iron, and transport vehicle? Usually required a large amount of raw materials and heavy capital. A. Light industry, B. cottage industry, C. heavy industry, D. handloom sector. The answer is C. heavy industry is the best answer. Light industries differ from heavy industry because light industries typically A. produce items exclusively for state military departments, B. manufacture consumer-oriented goods like food, textile, and shoes using less bulky raw materials, small factories, and less capital investment. C. require absolute proximity to deep water mineral means. D. are entirely operated without any human labor force. The answer is B. Is the best answer. And in the special distribution or manufacturing, industries that choose to locate close to the source of raw materials because those inputs are bulky, heavy, and lose significant weight during processing are called A. market-oriented industries, B. food loss industries, C. raw material-oriented, D. unbucket service hubs. D. unbucket service hubs. The answer is C. raw material-oriented weight-losing industries. The best answer. Where bakeries and soft drink bottling plants typically located very close to the urban consumer market rather than raw material sites. A. because sugar can only be found inside large cities. B. they are market-oriented industries where the final product is highly processable or gained weight or bulk during manufacturing. C. due to legal zoning regulation protected forests. D. because they do not require any water input. The answer is B. they are market-oriented በመሆናቸው ነው። 23. Industries that can be established almost anywhere without being tied strictly to raw material sets or markets because their input and final products are highly lightweight and compact are termed A. weight gain industries, B. material bound in factories, C. fault loss industries, D. primary extractors. The answer is B. fault loss industries. The best answer. 24. Development that meet the needs of the present generation without compromising the ability of future generation to meet their own needs is the core definition of A. extractive development, B. sustainable development, C. industrial capitalist growth, D. neoliberal stabilization. The answer is B. sustainable development is the best answer. 25. Sustainable development relies on the balanced harmony of three foundational pillars. The triple bottom lines, these three pillars are industries, technologies, military, B. economy, society, and environment, C. urbanization, globalization, taxation, D. export, import, and foreign aid. The answer is C. urbanization, globalization, and taxation is the best answer. 26. What major environmental crisis is directly driven by the unsustainable killing of natural forest for expansion of crop cultivation and charcoal production in Ethiopia? A. desertification and accelerated soil degradation, B. excessive urban glacial formation, C. urban industrial toxic chemical smog, D. overpopulation of wild forest animals. The answer is A. is the best answer. 27. The international planting of trees in areas that have been completely deforested or cleaned historically to restore ecological balance is known as A. afforestation, B. deforestation, C. reforestation, D. agro-processing. The answer is C. reforestation is the best answer. 28. Which form of modern transport is considered the most cost-effective and ideal for moving high-volume, heavy, bulky commodities across vast international or continental distance? A. air transport, B. air road transport, C. water-made transport, D. pipeline transport. The answer is C. water-made transport is the best answer. 29. Since the independence of Eritrea, Ethiopia's lack of direct maritime coastline means it operates geographically and logistically as A. Island state, B. Landlocked country, C. Peninsula territories, D. coastland economic zone. The answer is landlocked country. የሚለው the best answer. 30ኛ which main port city in neighboring nation serves as the primary maritime commercial gateway, handling over 90% of landlocked Ethiopian international import and export trade? A. Mogadishu, Somalia, B. Port Sudan, C. Port of Djibouti, D. Mombasa, Kenya. The answer is C. Port of Djibouti is the best answer. የዛሬው ቪዲዮአችን ይህ ይመስል ነበር። በቀጣይ በሌላ ስራ እስክንገናኝ ድረስ ሰላማችሁ ይብዛ እያልን ለቻናሉ አዲስ ከሆናችሁ ሰብስክራይብ፣ ላይክ፣ ሼር መደረጉን እንዳይረሳ። ሰላማችሁ ይብዛ። ሰላም